Music is life.
Music is one of the things that keeps you going. Music is energy.
Music is the thing I go to when I'm feeling at my lowest.
Music is the answer.
My name is Yinka Bokinni. I'm a presenter and DJ, and music is so important to me, whether it's at work, playing out. Music is the reason that I leave my house in the morning. It's my life. At the moment, it's no secret that there is a mental health crisis in the United Kingdom, and people are very worried about the future of our public services and their access to them. Research has proven that an alternative way to address mental well-being is through using music as therapy.
What we've seen in a study where we were working with 80 depressed clients was that the activity on the left side started to change with those who received music therapy. What we know is when you're suffering from something, you want to get out of it, and it just can be a driving force for creativity.
While there is undoubtedly an unhealthy obsession with the idea of the tortured artist, Jorg's comments made me realise that I wanted to explore how music can be used as a positive tool for our mental health. I've come to London to speak to an artist called Kojey Radical. Now, not only does Kojey use poetry and spoken word to express himself, earlier on in the year he lost his best friend Harry Uzoka. So I wanted to speak to him about how music has helped him through his grief.
If only you knew, I got flesh wounds bigger than you. Funny how they are when I watch my steps, but they couldn't run a mile in my shoes. If only you knew exactly what I've been through. Make you really wanna roll up, get high, sip into the bottle, see through. If only you knew.
I don't remember discovering music. Music was just there. And you come into the world ready to embrace music, you just don't necessarily know what it is yet.
Would you say that you have to create music? Are you like compelled?
Whenever I find myself without words, just in conversation, I can always find them in music. I think even if I didn't put music out, I would always use music as a therapy.
Everybody talk, everybody chat, everybody shook, everybody relax. Stand up straight, don't watch face. Get on when I sing, I never better relapse. Count my steps, clock my pace. Jump my grave, but I don't need that. I just want a crown and a world off my back. I just need Riz and a fountain and a jack, yeah.
I remember I watched you perform, and I told you this as well, actually. And you were on stage and you said, you know, that your friend had passed away. At a time where you're just so low. How does music help you get through that?
There was a time where I was driving through Islands, and I was thinking about him. Right as I was thinking about him, this like complete random shuffle. One of his favourite songs just comes on like that as soon as it came to mind. And it helped to remind me that he's here, innit? Do you see what I'm saying? So if we didn't have that connection over music, then I'm not really sure how I would have understood or coped with it.
How does it feel for you when people react like emotionally to your songs, or when people tell you that they can empathise, or this has happened to me, or...
So cliche to say it's amazing, but it's amazing. Like, I remember I was in Australia, I was in Melbourne, just finished the show, and I catch up with this guy, and he tells me that listening to 23 Winners helped him get through rehab. Actually hearing my relationship with my father kind of communicated through music gave him hope. Being able to sit down and talk to people and find out how the music hit them or affected them is really an eye-opener a lot of the time, where you might just be in a bubble. Your intention at the end of the day is to reach people with your experiences. I make music, I make art. That's what I do.
With gentrification rising, small independent bars and venues are being forced to close. Often, people think of partying and dancing as a hedonistic pastime, but as we find out from DJ Jin, entering the club space and performing can have therapeutic benefits.
Before I leave, I always get these butterflies in my stomach. And when you're dealing with anxiety, as well as depression and OCD, it can just be a nightmare getting out of the house. The few steps really getting into the club, I just take a deep breath and it's like, well, they didn't book you for no reason, honey, so get in there and show them what's what. Just tell myself that, you know, you're worth it.
Moving off the dance floor, music isn't just the language of young people. The healing and health benefits helped Sarah through some darker days.
I only started singing about 10 years ago, and in the last 5 or 6 years I've been quite ill and wasn't able to do anything. I was at home, in bed, lying flat, trying to look after children when I could. The only thing I continued to do during the period of my illness was to take my singing lessons. I'd take my morphine before I started singing and sometimes during my lesson, but actually concentrating on the music was powerful enough for me to forget for a while about everything else that was going on. And it took me to places, it sounds corny, but it took me to places that I'd forgotten existed. It was certainly something that I had never come across before, and it was only because of my own circumstances I realised the power of it. And when I finally started to get better, I realised I wanted to do music therapy, that I wanted to use music in a way that helped me to help other people.
For many people, being young is stressful. Recent research suggests that 1 out of 6 young people experience anxiety. However, for some, such as Ryan, Lucy, and Jess, music gave them confidence.
In secondary school, I was bullied and I felt very uncomfortable. I entered a talent show when I was in year 11 and I wasn't going to enter because, you know, I was very nervous. And then when I started dancing, they literally went crazy. And I had won that talent show. And I guess that was the moment where dance and music had literally changed my whole life and people's views on me. I literally just feel really strong. Like, I feel really powerful. I feel happy, just joyful, and I don't really care about the problems that I'm going through in life. It's just a feeling. I just feel like, you know, I was kind of born to do this. It does sound a bit cliche, but I do feel like I was born to perform and dance.
So with my speech impediment, back in school I was really bad. I haven't really got many friends from secondary school, but the few I did, they weren't musical, but they used to appreciate that I couldn't speak through words, but I could speak through music. I could play and nobody could judge because I could do something that a lot of people couldn't do. Yeah. And that was always really helpful.
There's just something about the arts that make you feel like you can do something and that you're special.
Music and dance has made me very positive and it's given me faith and hope in life. Just be true to yourself and don't try to be cool. You need to exercise your mind to actually love yourself and to, you know, see your own worth. Like, there's only one you, so why not try to be the best you as opposed to trying to be someone else?
In regards to more marginalised communities, music can be a way to collectively heal and reflect. For the Roma, who are perceived to be one of the world's most persecuted minorities, it is a way of remembering their past and sharing stories of their heritage.
We come from a dynasty of violin players. My grandfather started it off. He was in the first Roma band. My father has learnt it and he passed it down to me, and now I'm passing it down to my generation. The name of the song is Kajobergi. It's a very old traditional Roma song. It talks about how the Roma traveled through forests to seek refuge. Some of the forests were targeted by the Nazis. This forced the Roma people to flee. It was easier for them to be killed. To listen to these old songs with lyrics that talk about what the Roma people have went through, it takes you back in time. We came here as refugees, so it's very hard for us. The best thing for me is that I can take the guitar anytime and just free myself from all the problems and stress. Music is the one language that everyone understands. It helps me to be a better human.
And you come into the world ready to embrace music.
Just tell myself that, you're worth it.
What we know is when you're suffering from something, you want to get out of it, and it just can be a driving force for creativity.
I couldn't speak through words, but I could speak through music.
You can do something and that you're special.
Dance and music had literally changed my whole life.
We're hearing about music being cut in schools, and then the budgets for music and drama therapy just get cut. I don't think people realise how important it is.